everybody, and welcome
to this video where we're going to talk about what happens if you only have one idea and you will never have another idea again. So I got a question from somebody, and it is as follows. I'm writing something and I've been trying to get somewhere, and I'm fighting with one idea because I'm afraid I won't have any others. And that's a common enough question. It's not necessarily written that way every time, but it's a common enough question. This person in particular is talking about screenwriting. So I have quite a bit to say about that. Let's focus on it being a script thing. First off, you need to get out of that mindset that this is the only idea you're ever going to have. The reason why it's stuck in your head and has been there for so long is because you haven't done it yet. And so you're wrestling with this idea, and in your head, this is amazing. And each week, each month that goes by, you keep adding different things to it that make it really cool and make it seem like the greatest thing ever. Once you get rid of that idea, like write it out and finish it, more ideas will come. Probably the difference between you and somebody else is that when you get new ideas for the idea that you have to make the story better and to like add to it, a lot of other people will get those same ideas for when they're working on something, but they'll look at it as something completely different and a completely different idea. That's why you come across all these people, like some creators have like more ideas than they know what to do with, and others are focused on one project for a very long time. And it's because the flux of ideas is the same, but the main characters that you're using for these ideas vary. So you might be getting all these ideas, okay, but they're all focused on this one character. Whereas somebody else who's in the middle of something will have new ideas come all the time, and they'll just assume that that's a new idea for something else. Do you see what I'm saying? You, on the other hand, have this idea that it has to be built in this one story you're working on, okay? So that's one thing. The second thing, number two, is if you tell the universe that you will never have another idea and you will never be able to create anything again, you are making a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the universe, you are manifesting the fact that you will never have another idea. And the universe is like, oh, well, that well's tapped. Might as well move on. You need to be open to the idea of getting more ideas. You have to be open to the idea that what you're working on right now is probably, you might think it's amazing, but it's not that good compared to what you're going to do later. Okay? Like, your work will always continue to grow. Your work will always continue to be better. Okay? Now, you might be going, well, it's not true, because there's this one writer I like, and I really like their second book, and their 8th book is garbage. Or a band or something like that. What you have to realize, and it's really hard to look at art objectively when this is a problem, but what a lot of people end up doing, so I guess this is number 3, but a lot of people have favorite things based on the nostalgia of the period when they found that thing. Okay? So there's albums I like that might not be as good as other albums by that same particular artist, but I found that album in a time where I needed that album. And so that means a lot to me. So for instance, this is a good example. Most people don't like Radiohead's first album, Pablo Honey. I love Pablo Honey because I was in a very weird particular spot as a teenager when that album came out, and that album means a lot to me, whereas like things they put out since then, like I don't really have the same fondness for, even though those are better albums, like the Benz and OK Computer and shit like that. Like I'm like, whatever. But Pablo Honey, I'm like, oh my god, has a special place in my heart because I used to listen to that album Heartbroken as a teenager over and over again at night when I was sleeping, or crying myself to sleep in a big mat-shaped pillow, you know what I'm saying? Or like learning how to play those songs on guitar and like singing along and playing along with the songs on the album, you know what I'm saying? So like you have to understand that like you might think you know everything and you're like, oh no, like this thing from this person's the best because this is the best thing they did and everything else they did. No, it's just you found that at a very particular time in your life where you were susceptible to that being a big influence on your life. That's what art does. That's what art is. Okay. So I guess now we're going into number 4. Since we're talking about scripts, if you are pitching, unless you're going to make this movie yourself, which I'm going to guess you're not going to make this movie yourself. You might, but chances are you won't. So you're probably going to want to shop that script around. Okay. If you go to an agent or a manager to try to shop this script, when you give them this magnum opus of a script that's the best thing you've ever written, it's the only thing you'll be known for, you know, this is it, this is the fucking thing. When you give that to them, they're going to thumb through it and they're going to say, what else do you got? What's next? Because they're not going to want to invest their time into somebody that's like a one-trick pony, or like they only have like, they're like a one-hit wonder. They want to invest in somebody that they could continue to grow and make them a bigger name so they can make more and more money off of the shit they sell for you. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you don't have a bunch of other things in your pocket, you're going to fail like before you even get to the meeting, because they're looking for somebody that is a fucking idea factory. They're looking for people who can like crank shit out. You know what I'm saying? And like, even if your script is really good, let's say it's the best script anyone has ever read, that'll be cool. They'll pick it up and they might take it to a couple places, but they have other clients too. And the clients that they have that are continually making them money are the clients they're going to focus on. And if you are just this person who has this one script, they're not going to really give a shit. Okay? If you go to like a production company or a studio and try to pitch something without any kind of representation, and you're like, this is my script, blah, 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 and you only have one, they might entertain a conversation with you. But if you don't have anything else, they're also going to look at you and go, this person's going to be really hard to work with because they put all their eggs in this basket. Like, because whatever script you write, you need to understand that there's probably going to be close to 10 to 20 rewrites of your script that you have no control over. And they don't want a fucking headache. They're just trying to make a cookie cutter fucking movie. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, you going in there with this is your only thing, and like, they're going to look at that and go, wow, this person cannot let go. I don't want to fucking, that's fine. I'll go do that. We have a room full of writers working on it right now. There's 45 people in there cranking out lines one after another. Even if you've never sold anything or put anything out, you need to have just a drawer full of, maybe not scripts, but treatments, outlines. You need to have a ton of these things. Okay? But more than anything, to get into a room, you need to have finished something. So finish your fucking script. So I don't know if that was helpful or whatever, but it goes with like books too. Like, if you go in, and this is why series books are so important, especially if you're writing fiction and shit. If you go in with a standalone novel, like, unless it's like literary whatever, if you go in with a standalone novel and you're like, yeah, no, there's no sequels, this is not a series, this is just like one self-contained blah 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 blah, they're bored. They want to know that if they pump a bunch of money into marketing something, that there is a possibility that this thing can just keep going and be like just like a money factory. Okay? If they can't, nobody cares. All right? if you are writing books and self-publishing them on Amazon, it's a lot better for you to already have like 3 books written before you publish the first one, and have your front and back matter talking about the next books in the series and the actual dates when they're going to come out, because you already have them written and they're already done. And then you just like have them spaced out a month apart. Boom, boom, boom. You build an audience. You're building your fan base as to how often they could expect your work. And if you do it like that, that gives you like what, 4 months, 3 months to finish the 4th book in the series, and just keep going if this is what you want to do. But more importantly than anything, if you tell the universe that you're not good enough to have more than one idea, the universe will listen. Doubt and dread and self-loathing are very strong, powerful energies that you put out. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I just need to manifest some money. I need to manifest love. But you know what you're really fucking good at manifesting is how much you hate yourself. And you could put that out in the universe so easily. And so, like, you could do that without any fucking problem at all. But god damn it, if you need to manifest a box of chicken nuggies, you're not going to be able to pull that off. It's weird. It's weird how conditioned, especially artists, are to be the most self-loathing, self-deprecating pieces of garbage on the planet. We need to turn that shit around. Okay? So you need to manifest brilliant ideas. You need to let the universe know that you are just like a beacon flashing in a dark night. And whenever ideas start fucking circling around the area, it's going to hit you first, because you are the smartest motherfucker on the planet, and you are more creative than anybody, and you weave a good tale. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you could do that. And that's really how you do it. But this idea of you only having one thing in you, like, you might as well stop now and like just start working at McDonald's. At least in California, I think they pay $20 an hour. That's way better than what most artists make. So flipping burgers ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, on top of that, if you also want to know what it's like to have a crap ton of product and a crap ton of art, you could go to my store, mattwallart.com. There's tons of my stuff up there. The stuff that's left, it's all limited edition or one-of-a-kind stuff, and it goes. You know what I'm saying? There's always room for new ideas, all right? And on June 28th and 29th, there's going to be a huge store launch, like an official store launch, and a big sale where people can get like 40% off of everything in the shop. But if you are a member of the channel, you're going to get 50% off, and you get a early bird sneak peek day where on the 27th, where you could get whatever you want for 50% off before the general public gets their promo codes. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the stuff is up on the shop now, so go look at it, mattwallart.com, and that's how you do it. That's how you get people to come look at your crap. That's how you get people to see how many ideas you could have. That's how you get motherfuckers thinking that you're the shit and they need to invest in you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of windy here. My hair's looking like crazy town over here. Anyway, keep buying my books. Keep buying my art, guys. Thank you so much. I love you all. Type hard. And I'll talk to you all later.